the second-year head coach for Florida Atlantic. John Jakus with us here tonight from the Duffy's in Boca. And, Coach, thank you for coming by, making time as always. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It has obviously been frustrating. 7 of 8 this basketball team has dropped. But, man, almost every one of these games in this 8-game stretch have come down to the final possession. At least has been within a possession with 3 minutes left to go. And that's got to be the most maddening thing for you is this team is really good. And this team was in first place. This team has the talent. What is just a common denominator in the final 3 minutes of this game that you see where you're like, man, if that one element changes, we can turn at least half these results around?
One, I don't know if we can find a healer, but health wouldn't hurt.
True. True.
2, I would say at the end of the game, we've had a hard time getting consecutive stops in a row, specifically without fouling. And then the third thing I would say is that when it comes to like minor details, it just seems like there's a bounce that goes in a different direction. And even the last game, like Johan is 2 inches from the rim on the layup. Isaiah Elohim against Tulsa was wide open from 3. I mean, the 2 steals were pretty special. Kanan had that 3 pull-up against USF. Yeah. So you're having open shots to win the game, and it almost redefines the way you feel because, you know, sports are so emotional. Just one thing different happens, you feel like everything works. And then one thing doesn't happen, you feel like nothing works. Yeah. And our common denominator is that with our guys, we have not overreacted emotionally. We're focusing on what we can do. And then we're trying to clean up the details of what can help.
The regular season's such a grind, and the conference season is such a grind, and you're trying to maneuver, you're trying to jockey for position in the standings, you're trying to be the best version of yourself at the end of the year. You're 1 game ahead of the American Conference tournament line here in the standings with 3 regular season games left to go. Is there a little bit of a conference tournament one-and-done approach here the final 3 games to ensure that you can get yourself into Birmingham? How do you handle that?
I mean, I think we have a 1-game approach pretty much either way. Every scout is different. I thought our offensive scout against UNT was pretty elite. Damon Parker did a great job. Defensively, there was enough stops to win a game, obviously, but just 1 or 2 short in those free throws down the stretch. So we're just going to take the next game in the same regard. Isaiah Austin did the UTSA scout. He's got this Temple scout. We beat them the first time there, and I feel like we'll address this game just as an individual game. We've got to stack plays. And then we've got to have bigger kill shots. And then we've got to find margin. The reality is if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. And if you can take our 6 to 8 point lead that we seem to get every second half and extend it or hold it, that's probably what we're working on right now is how do we take what we've gone through and learn to get margin so we're not in this situation at all.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic going for the season sweep of Temple tomorrow night at the Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena, 7 o'clock tip. For tickets, 866-FAU-ALS, FAUsports.com. Florida Atlantic Coaches Show with FAU head basketball coach John Jakus. Injuries, we've talked about it exhaustively, both here at the Coaches Show and then obviously on the Florida Atlantic Sports Radio Network broadcast and myself and Damon Arnett during games. You get Maxime Logie back from his foot injury against North Texas, and he looked big and strong, and he's able to jump, and that looks like Maxime Logie. You've had Kanan Carlisle back for a couple of games. We know that he's not 100%, but he's starting to look like Kanan Carlisle again.
I would say last game for sure. That's the closest we've been to 100%, which I'm thankful for.
And then Devin Vanterpool has had a foot injury. Just what is he looking like here, at least near future availability-wise?
Yeah, you know this because you do every game with us all season long, but we're 14-4, 14-5 when our top 8 are together. And so we have 2 things going on right now. One, we've got to learn to win when that's not happening. And then 2, there is this chance, and it's a pretty good chance. I don't want to say it out loud because our injuries have been so bad since we were 6-1. But there's this timeline that gets us that Vanderpool back in time to be ready for the conference tournament. Maxime is back, like you said. Kanan, after these 2 home games, we get a bye week. His calf will be even better. The healthiest version of us, barring any surprise, which we've had plenty of surprises, could hit right about next Wednesday just in time for us to prepare for our Wichita State game. And then if we can get a game under our belt going to conference tournament, our first game whole isn't that first game in the conference tournament. That'll be a real positive for us. One that I didn't see coming. We got good news on Dev's foot. It's not as bad as it could have been, and there's a trajectory for him to be back in time for sure for that conference tournament.
I heard your media availability yesterday, and you made the comment, this team has a 10% chance of not going to the American Conference Tournament, but there's upwards of a 40% chance.
Yeah, it's
of
like
being
47% chance we could be the third
seed. And then you don't play until the quarterfinal of this American Conference Tournament. Have you ever seen a league race like this in all your years of coaching?
Not really. I mean, one, I was at Gonzaga, and to be frank, we just made the tournament.
True. It's a good point.
Two, we were at Baylor. Basically, if you went 500 in league, you were an automatic bid. So this is my first experience with a one-bid league. Last year it was pretty definitive in the way things played itself out. This year, not as much. I think every year you get deeper into the portal, there's going to be these odd years where leagues just beat up on each other. Last year the Sun Belt had 4 teams tied for first place, which almost never happens. And then when you take Memphis's injuries and issues, our injuries, and some different dynamics, so when teams get hot and when they don't, there's this median point that our teams are going to have to get more and more used to, because every year your top 4 scorers like ours were taken. And so you can't predict things. But what you can do is, if you got good guard play, you play really good defense, and, let's be honest, you stay healthy.
Yeah.
Then you can get to where you need to be. The 3 teams at the top, I think, have not changed the starting lineup and not had an injury in their top 8. And I think if we were blessed to have that, we'd be having a very different discussion right now. But it's not my job to complain. It's my job to take responsibility for what's going on. We need to do better. We're going to learn. I think Kanan even said it during his time with you. We're going to learn to win. And these guys, this will be a real beneficial thing. And if we can take all the lessons we learn and win 3 games in 3 days, you're going to say it was a really valuable experience for us.
And those top 3 teams you mentioned, USF, who you almost beat at the buzzer, Tulsa, who you almost beat at the buzzer, and Wichita State, which you blew out. Those are the top 3 teams now in the American
we beat
Conference.
Wichita by 30 when we were healthy, and to be frank, the other 2 games we didn't have our top 8. So does it mean we're going to win the conference tournament when we're healthy? No, but does it mean we have a chance if we are? Probably.
Absolutely. That is important context in the grand scheme of things. When we return, we'll talk more FAU basketball. Florida Atlantic has Temple tomorrow at the Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena. 7 o'clock is the tip time. More with FAU head coach John Jakus after this from the Duffys in Boca. This is the Florida Atlantic Coaches Show on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network.
This is Coach Bob Stoops. When you're a college football coach, it's important to have an eye for talent. The same holds true when choosing your tequila. When I tried rock and roll, I liked it so much, I decided to become a partner in this Oklahoma-owned company. Crafted in the highlands of Jalisco, Mexico, the smooth taste of rock and roll's triple distilled platinum, or añejo, called Cristalino, and the incredible premium quality mango tequila, no excuses. Make rock and roll your game day tequila.
Calling all Owls fans. Duffy's Sports Grill is the place to catch all the football action this season. Duffy's has voted the best year over year with their award-winning jumbo wings, certified Angus beef burgers, and 2-for-1 drinks. Plus, with over 80 TVs, you'll never miss a minute of the action. So grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's to cheer on your favorite team. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on.
Looking for the best team in town? The reviews say it all. Shiner Law Group has been trusted by people just like you to deliver real results right after that accident. With top ratings and thousands of satisfied clients, there's a reason Shiner Law Group has been the go-to injury law firm in our community for nearly 25 years. Again, don't just take my word for it. Read the reviews and find out why Shiner Law Group is the right choice for you.
So, I was just parking my car, and then I saw you, the gecko. Huge fan.
I'm always honored to meet fans out in the wild.
The honor is mine. I just love being able to file a claim in under 2 minutes with the Geico app.
Well, the Geico app is top-notch.
I know you get asked this all the time, but could you sign it?
Sign what? The app? Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means so much. Oh, it rubbed off the screen when I touched it. Could you sign it again?
Anything to help, I suppose.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico. You're listening to the Florida Atlantic Coaches Show, coming to you from Duffy's Sports Grill on St. Andrews Boulevard in Boca Raton on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network.
We are back. Duffy's off St. Andrews in Boca Raton. Florida Atlantic Coaches Show. Got you until 7 o'clock here on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network. Fox Sports 640, foxsports640.com, and the free Fox Sports South Florida app. That is where you're going to hear FAU and Temple tomorrow night. 7 o'clock tip, 6:30 the pregame. But more importantly, tickets. 866-FAU-Owls, FAUsports.com. Everybody who comes out gets a brand new FAU Vice shirt. They look good. They look awesome. I'm not the biggest when it comes to fashion, but even I can tell you those are pretty strong shirts that people are going to be sporting tomorrow night. Coach Jakus has seen my lack of fashion sense. FAU head coach John Jakus, found a couple of minutes here with him. Josiah Parker, your true freshman, has just collected his 6th Freshman of the Week honor. You might as well just start engraving the trophy. He is going to be the Freshman of the Year in the American Conference. He has more than double what any other player in the league has from that award perspective with 2 weeks left to go. How do you explain where has he matured most in his ascension to the player he is now with double-doubles for the last 5?
I think willingness to be coached. Second, I would say he got himself in this situation by playing defense and rebounding. Now that he's scoring, you probably got to remind him of the defense part, but the production is pretty special. It's difficult to be a 6'6", 6'7" guy, undersized mismatch, and basically average a double-double, which is what he's done since our injuries. It's pretty special. And he's going to win the award unless somebody's cheating.
Yeah.
He's clearly the guy. But, people might forget, you were there for, the Liberty games. His first 5 shots on the season, 2 of them hit the side of the backboard. And so I'm telling you, maybe the thing that he should be most rewarded for, and you had him and his brother here on the same night, is every day at 7:30 or 8 a.m. he's in the gym for an hour with his brother working on his fundamentals. So when things didn't go his way, he didn't quit. He did the opposite. He worked harder. And usually hard work is rewarded. So there's a bunch of reasons, and coaches take credit for things they shouldn't. His parents have done a good job, and he just hasn't quit.
Cannon Carlisle, who we just talked to, your starting point guard, and with Devin Ventriple's injury, he slid into that two-guard spot as well. But he's someone who sat up here and said, hey, first 2 years of college basketball, Stanford, Indiana, just didn't find myself, wasn't really playing, was trying to discover not only him as a basketball player, but himself as a person. Why do you think he's been able to acclimate here in this basketball program in Boca?
Some of it is when you get a player. There's some luck to that. So he's gone through some difficult times, so he came here present and willing to do whatever we asked of him. So I think when you get somebody, we got him in a pretty mature state. I think he's been not just that, but really special with his willingness to sacrifice. Playing injured, even that, I think, that should be lauded. That should be really complimented. It just shows he cares more for others than he does for himself. And a lot of times when you're a highly ranked guy and you're going through all this stuff, it becomes much about your process.
Yeah.
Kanan has chosen the team over and over again, whether it's playing the 1, the 2, playing injured, not. I was talking to Perry Clark today, who will do the game tomorrow on TV for ESPN. The truth is probably between Christmas and his calf injury, he was the best two-way guard in our league.
Yeah.
And if not, Dev and him were fighting for it. And I just want him to have that back. My heart is that the kids feel what they deserve, that their God-given talents get a chance to be shown. And he'll get that with his health. But I just am really thankful for his willingness to listen, the maturities that he's shown, and the sacrifices that he's making. And in the long run, those things will pan out for him. And I think probably when you talk to him, you could hear the maturity in his voice.
Yep. I wanted to ask you this. Keeping in mind that obviously tomorrow's a big one, and this weekend's a big one against Charlotte, and going to Wichita State is a big one. You're in a battle to get yourself to Birmingham for the American Conference Tournament. But this question is bred from what college basketball is now. I'm going to make up a term here, but how much general managering are you having to do at this juncture of a season, thinking about next year's roster, what's going to be here? Because there's always conversations, whether it's legal or not, and people are in DMs, and people have these grand designs of different futures for themselves. How much attention do you pay to next year's roster while this year is still going on?
I would say not as much as people probably think. I also learned a lesson last year that I did too much of that at this time of year. Mm-hmm. When we named Coach Fee the associate head coach, it was in part so that he could do some of that work with us and for us, and he's done a great job. I don't think we need to be in a rush, because my number one goal right now is not to take other people's players. I mean, people do that to us.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in retention. And the best way to retain is stay present with the ones you have. And I'm really thankful for somebody like Dev Vanderpool. I think he's made as big a leap as anybody in college basketball between last year and this year. Our staff still does a wonderful job with player development, and you can see that in his life. Nothing improves a kid faster than staying right where he's at. Now, maybe nothing makes a kid richer than putting his name in the portal, but that's not my business. My business is retention. And whenever we've been good in my past portions of my career, it's because we've had kids for 2 or 3 years together, and we were able to really grow them up as men and players. So I'm overly concerned with retention, and I'm not concerned with my phone.
Well, the development has shown through each of the last 2 years now with Florida Atlantic and its impact players. Short-term, Florida Atlantic, a real big one tomorrow against the Philadelphia version of the Owls. Florida Atlantic, Temple. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip time at the Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena, 866 FAU Owls, FAUsports.com. As always, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time for me, and we'll see you tomorrow night, okay?
Yeah, thanks for all you did this season. I think this is our last one together.
Yeah, I think so.
It is. And my parents are here with my mom's cousin, and I think the only person they like more than me is Ken Levega.
Jakus, it's good to see you, as always. And it was a nice, pseudo-homecoming, going back to the state of Texas for you, where you applied your trade at Baylor.
That is true. I love my time in Texas, but don't change the subject. You're great at your job, and thank you for doing this all year.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you. We'll do it again once the NCAA tournament comes.
Let's get hot.
That's right. We'll be back with you tomorrow on the Florida Atlantic Sports Network. FAU, Temple, 7 o'clock, 6:30 pregame. Myself and Damon Arnett. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thanks to everybody who has helped us out here at the Duffys off St. Andrews in Boca. This has been the Florida Atlantic Coaches Show. Good night, everybody.